but I'm wearing the same clothes because I'm filming them back to back. So now I have to try to re-gear my brain to another drama. I do want to mention The 19th Floor. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Miles Way. I didn't look it up, so I'll put up here somewhere what all I've seen him in and which ones I've dropped and which ones I actually completed. I don't even remember, but there it is. He plays the main character in this one, and I'll read what I wrote here. Writing this with 3 episodes left to watch, it's too long. A lot of stuff dragged because it was too slow on boring stuff. I hate zombies. And several characters were okay in some places, but in other places were so frustrating or just so boring, to me personally, or whatever, that I skipped some stuff and also only listened without looking, so mostly no idea what was even actually said because I didn't care about these characters. They just were not characters that I was attracted to. And see, how are you supposed to handle your characters? The thing is, with support characters, too often in dramas, they're called support characters, and yet they spend so much time with them that they're more main character than the main character is. There's too many main characters. Because the more of a cast you have, the bigger your cast is, and the more you try to focus on every single one of them, it's too much. There will unavoidably, because of personality and because of whatever, there will unavoidably be ones that I don't care about. The ones that I ended up not really liking. I was bored by them or didn't like them or whatever. Just, they're totally not my kind of character, not my kind of personality, not my other people who watch this drama. Maybe that was their favorite character because everybody's so different. We're all drawn to different kinds of people. So that's the unfortunate thing about this one. Because they had so many main characters, it ended up making the story drag, and they kept focusing on certain characters, and it was weird because they had these characters over here that are all connected, and this guy over here that became increasingly disconnected because he was the only one over here, and I'm like, why did you pick him to be the only one over here? Because I'm like totally not attracted to this in the slightest. It was so annoying. So, like, at least with these ones over here, if there was a couple of them that I didn't like, it was good because the ones I did like were there and it was all fine and whatever, and there's an interaction going on here, but then he's all by himself over here interacting with nothing but support characters, and I'm like, really? And then the funny thing, since I'm talking about characters, there's Bawan. I did not like him at first. He just felt so ridiculously 2D because he was so ridiculously stereotypical just right off the bat. He felt so shallow and annoying. By the end of the drama, he's one of my favorite characters. He's probably my second favorite. A lot of the girls in this drama, I kind of liked them, kind of didn't. In certain settings and in certain ways, I really liked them. In other settings and other ways, I did not. Where was I in the stuff that I was writing? The point I'm at now, which is 3 episodes to the end, spoilers here. Them not actually waking up / escaping when they thought they did is way too common and thus predictable. Like every game or dream state or whatever story pulls this stunt. Every single one of them. Like, can you name a single one where they get pulled into a dream or a game or whatever? Like, there's some kind of virtual they're stuck in their brain. Every single one of them does this, where at some point they think they wake up and they don't. This messes with my brain personally. I can't handle this because that is scary. Like, thank goodness that can't actually happen, but at the same time, I could potentially see it happening. Have you ever had a dream where you thought you were awake and you weren't? It's potentially true that could actually happen, and that's flippin' freaky. It could potentially happen that you get stuck inside your head and you think it's real and it's not real, especially with virtual reality becoming a thing and stuff like that. So, like, it's a type of thriller, and I understand why people do it, but it's overused. And in some stories, it would be really nice if they just didn't do it. My sister's walking around now. I'll probably hear her. I'm going to be brave and keep talking. What was I saying? Nope, I can't do it. She distracted me. I forget what I was saying. Yeah, it would be really nice if they actually did what. Plus, part of the problem too, like, I feel like in this one, this was just a device to make the story stretch out even longer. You didn't need to do that. You really didn't need to do that. Like, they really, 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 really didn't need to do that. I potentially see why they did. Hi, Asuka. She's down there. I potentially see why they did, but at the same point, you just didn't need it. You legit didn't need it. I don't think it's just me being incredibly impatient, because yes, I get incredibly impatient incredibly easily. I really, really don't think this story needed it. They did enough of getting their point across and whatever. The story didn't need that part, so it was really annoying. By the time that I was done, Chunyu and Dodo were the worst. The victimhood trap. That's why they were the worst, is the victimhood trap. They're so stupidly self-absorbed. Yeah. This is one of the points of the story. This is Gao Zhuan's whole speech at that one point. What he was saying, that was one of the points of this story, is watching someone that's gone that far and watching them come back to life or come out of this or whatever. But, like, it took so long and they were so frustrating. Like, Chunyu, at least it shows that she did the same thing to her father. Because at the point when she's like, she had no business doing what she did to Gao Zhuan. She, like, saw something on his computer, and she up and decided it was his business to tell her and to explain what was going on, when it wasn't. And, like, she had no faith, no trust in him, when it seems like she should have. But it's like, she's one of those people that ends up stonewalling him. She goes stonewall, she doesn't communicate, she doesn't talk. The only thing that made me not entirely flat out hate her for this was that you find out that she did the same thing to her dad, which means this is literally what she does to everybody. This is her incredibly toxic way of handling things, where if she's upset or whatever, she stops talking. She won't talk to you. She won't communicate with you. She won't fix things because she won't talk to you. Supposedly, I guess you could say, she was trying to give him a chance by continuously saying, "Are you sure there's nothing you don't want to tell me?" He's innocent. He doesn't have a clue what she's talking about, because he is not guilty of what she thinks he's guilty of. She's the one that ends up shutting him out and will not talk to him. Therefore, he is left clueless, going, what? What? She drove me nuts. Ugh. But in other ways, like, at least with her, she is one of those ones that's, like, she's a tough girl. She's what I would call a tomboy. I did like her in many ways. There was just a few things that frustrated me. Like, she had no business just up and deciding these things that she decided at a certain point. She had no business prying into people's lives. The way she treated the cafeteria guy, I don't remember his name. Which one was he? Lin? I totally don't remember. I'll put it up here somewhere. The way she treated him when she suspected that he was whatever, all of a sudden she got so suspicious and she was completely prying into his business. It's like, I know this is a dangerous game and everything is dangerous and all the rest of that kind of stuff, but at the same time, there's still lines. And she was crossing them. She was totally crossing them. So she made me, like, really mad. And, like, plus hypocritical. She got so mad at Gao Zhuan at that one point because she up and decided, and I guess, like, I'm trying to figure out if it's just my brain being biased or if I'm like, was it the same thing or was it not? Because, like, what was she actually mad at him for? I think it was because she figured he was using them, because instead of telling them that he was also there and formulating a plan or whatever, he just decided to use them as bait/cover so he could finish what he was doing. Whereas from his viewpoint, it's more like, I don't know, because he did not tell them that he was going there to carry out this mission, so he left her out of it instead of telling her, which she was mad at him for, and she had no right to be mad at him for, because she did the exact same thing. She formulated a plan and told these people, did not tell him, and went and started carrying it out, and then he was surprised by the fact that she was doing this and is like, why didn't you tell me? They did it to each other. Neither one of you can be mad at each other when you both did the same thing. The only difference in what they did, I suppose, is that he did kind of use them as a cover. I'm trying not to be biased. Does she have a right to be mad at him for that or not? I don't know. He didn't actually put them in danger. They were the ones doing this to themselves. He just didn't tell them that he was also there. They were already bringing attention to themselves, whether he was there or not. They would have the exact same thing would have happened to them whether he was there or not. He took advantage of something they were already doing. So I don't know. I was mad at her for getting so mad at him for that, because I feel like she didn't, to be a little annoyed at him maybe, but I think she took it too far. But see, Chunyu does that. She takes everything too far because she's so wrapped up in herself. But then in a way, Dodo was even worse. It's like I say, stuck in the victimhood. She is one of those typical people that has some type of disability, and she uses it as a weapon. Where, like, I understand her predicament, and I understand how hard that would be if that's the life. They did a really bad job of explaining the fact that this is permanent. Like, she's on a crutch. I thought, like, this is a temporary thing where her leg is broken and it's just healing. They took too long to explain the fact that this is most likely permanent. That's why she was so upset. Because it's not just a temporary thing. I just broke it like a week ago, so it's going to be another 4 or 5 weeks before it's fixed. No, they took a while to explain that no, this is actually very likely permanent. She might never ever be able to use this leg again. Okay, really? Isn't there some better way to do this than forever the rest of your life walking around on a crutch? Huh? But anyway, I guess maybe it was not that long ago, and they were also predicting that it would be permanent. Or something like that. Like, so he tries to make a chair so that it's easier for her to stand up, and she gets all offended. Why? What did he do wrong? I do not understand what he did wrong with that. I legit don't. All he did was put arms on the chair. I'd be like, thank you, because yes, it is really hard to get out of this chair when it doesn't have arms in it. You gave him the arms. Now I can get up. But no, somehow she took it as an offense because it made her look like a handicap. How dare you treat me like a handicap? At the moment, you kind of are. There is nothing wrong with using aids to make your life easier. Yeah. People like that drive me insane, because it's like you literally just can't do anything right. I ask you, what can I do to help you? And you go, well, you should know what I want. Why would I know what you want? Everybody that's disabled in any kind of way is different. I need to ask you specifically what it is that you want, which I guess is part of what she was mad at him for, which is maybe true, because he didn't ask what it is that he could do to help her. He just decided on his own what it is that he could do to help her. But she is so prickly and so defensive and so whatever that she didn't go, yeah, okay, thank you for that gesture, but that's not really what I needed. This would be more helpful. That's all she needed to do. But instead she goes, oh, how dare you, you jackass. You're so inconsiderate and nasty. That doesn't help anybody, guys. Don't do that. So she, like, really irritated me in that area. And, like, for some reason, I just didn't care about her whole sob story. I should have, because her whole story is pretty sad, and everything with her mother and her sister, but unfortunately that was a lot of the stuff I was skipping, because I just didn't care. I was so annoyed by her whole attitude and everything. And remember, people, this is within a story context. If I met people in real life, I'd be a lot more considerate and kind while I'm talking to them. But it just drives me nuts. So, and then there was some of the main characters that were just, I don't know, they were just not. But now that we've worked through all of that, okay. A hero. How do you define what a hero is? I find it really interesting how often I watch these dramas, and like especially the Chinese dramas when you go into the martial arts world. They are obsessed with calling people heroines and heroes. One is like, what does that word even mean by this point? Why are you calling these people that? This word does not apply to them. And yet they're applying it to them. So I'm like, okay, how do you guys define a hero? Because you're clearly defining it with a completely different dictionary from me. Because there's nothing about these people that are heroic. Nothing. So, like, I find it quite interesting for me personally, who would I call a hero? And why would I call them a hero? I mean, there's a whole lot of dramas. Like, I'm thinking back about the characters. If I start thinking back about the characters that I've seen. Characters that I absolutely loved. Main characters of stories. And then if I think about them, would I call them a hero or a heroine or not? Because I didn't think about it, I can't think of any examples to bring up. Would I call them a hero or a heroine or not? The funny thing is, I was not intending to call anybody in this one a hero or heroine. I was not intending it. That was not even crossing my mind. Why would it? It didn't, there was, but as I'm watching the drama, I can't remember what point it was at. All of a sudden it hit me. Gao Chuan is a hero. If you look at what his childhood was like, what he went through, and then look at, like, the fact that he moved away and grew up, what did he do in order to heal from this? Because, like, it still affects him, but at the same time, it's not controlling him like it does with Chuyan. Chuyan has not been able to break free from this. She is stuck at a point in her past, and that is bogging her down so badly that she's got no friends and she's got no connections, and she doesn't care even really about herself. She's so disconnected and so taken out of everything. And then you got Dodo, who's so stuck in it that she's extremely self-absorbed. For Dodo, it's a lot more recent. For Chian, that was quite a while ago, and yet she's still bogged down by it. But then with Gao Chuan, everything he went through, and he somehow broke free from that, where, like, and at this point, it's not that he doesn't care about himself, it's that, okay, at this point, he doesn't need the attention anymore because he's okay. And because he's okay, he's now here to help her be okay. And it's not like this rescue mission where he's gonna do everything for her and he's gonna be the hero. He had no intention of being the hero. He did not show up to say, I'm here to save you. I am here to save the day and I'm gonna do everything for you. He's so gentle and so patient and so, like, there was at one point where he said something about, I'm sorry, I should have known that, like, how you are now is perfect in two. And I was like, that was a really awkward and annoying line. I can't remember what it was he said. What she's like right now, Chuyan, there are changes that do need to happen. I've seen this in other ones before, too, where it's like, okay, it's like what I've said in other ones where it's like, if a bad attitude, that's not just a funny little quirk that's so cute about them. Bad attitude is an attitude that needs to change. It's like, okay, so Chian is not the, like, always smiling, always bubbly, always whatever girl anymore. If she's a lot more calm and a lot more thoughtful and a lot more quiet now, that is also okay. And if that's what he was saying, then that's good and that's fine. Because, like, people change over their life period. I am quite different now than I was when I was younger. But at my core, obviously, I'm still the same person. But I'm not as hyper and active and out there and all that kind of stuff. Stuff that used to interest me doesn't interest me the same way and all this stuff. If you loved me back then, I hope you can love me now. Even though I'm different, because I am different now. But there's a difference between you maturing and growing and changing as life happens and you go through experiences and you present to the world in a different way now because of that. If that's what he's referring to there, and the fact that, okay, I can still love you now as you've gone through these changes and you're still the same person, but you've changed a little bit, if that's what he's referring to, then yes, good. But it kind of ends up coming out and feeling like he's trying to help her let go of the trauma, let go of the sadness, the grief. You don't ever get over grief. Like, she lost her mother in an accident, and it's not only lost her mother in an accident, she was in the vehicle and went through the accident with her mother. She survived and her mother didn't. That is extremely traumatic, and it's not something you ever get over. You don't ever get over losing people. That grief is always with you for the rest of your life. It just is. What you do is work through the grief. You learn to let go of the parts that are, like, harming you, because, like, sadness harms you if you hold on to it for too long. Like, think of depression. Depression cripples people. Depression is an extreme sadness. But, like, sadness itself, if you hold on to it too long, it starts physically hurting you and it starts crippling you and it's harmful to you. So, like, sadness is an important thing that it's an emotion. All emotions have a point and a purpose, but any emotion, if you hold on to it too long, can be very harmful to you. Even positive emotions can be very harmful to you. Because when you're feeling super happy and you've got all that adrenaline going and all the rest of that stuff, think of if that carries on for too long. Your body gets exhausted. So if you think about it logically, like any emotion we have, if you let it carry on too long without a break, without a regulation, without a de-stress of your body, because even positive things are a stress on your body, and if you don't let your body decompress from that, it can become harmful. So, like, she's trapped in this depressive sadness that is oppressing her and harming her, and he's trying to help her break out of that. And if that's what he's doing, and there is a claim that it's wrong for him to be doing that, then the claim is wrong. Because she does need to come out of that. She does need to heal. She does need to let go of these harmful parts of grief. It's been a long time. She needs to get through this. And if she is determined to just stay stuck in this stage over here when she does need to start moving along and working through this, do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm distracted again because somebody's in the kitchen so they can probably hear me, and that's awkward. What I was trying to say, Gao Chuan, there was a certain point where it suddenly, I felt like he's a hero. What he goes through in this drama and the way he works through it, part of the thing is, he never intended to be a hero. His goal was not to elevate himself. He never intended to die or anything like that. But being a true hero literally has nothing to do with you. Nothing is about you. He wasn't trying to heal her for his own sake. He was trying to help her for her sake. Everything was about her. And in the end of the drama, it wasn't even just about her. It was about everybody. He ended up being like this protector of everybody. Every single one of them that was in that game. He's like the big brother protector that like took everything onto himself in order to protect them and help them through it. And like, I don't know why, but it just occurred to me all of a sudden, he's a hero. And what he goes through in the end of that drama, what actually ends up happening to him, I was like, oh. And in a sense, the ending part there was getting a little annoying and frustrating. Chunyu took so long. I'm like, again, I feel like this is dragging, but at the same time, I understood it, and it was just, I feel like it took too long, but at the same time, it was so well done. Like, everything... And I'm still distracted because somebody's in the kitchen, so I feel really awkward talking, and I think I'm basically done. So, I'll probably stop recording. But I don't know. Have you seen 19th Floor? Have you even heard of it? It's an older drama. I don't remember when it was made. I'll put the thing up here somewhere. I watched it in January, so like a month ago. Oh, hold on. I forgot to say what day I finished it. But either way, it's been close to a month since I finished it. 3 weeks at least. I'll have to look up the date that I finished it because I forgot to write it. Yeah, there you go. That's my overall thoughts of 19th Floor. Actually rated it pretty low on my rating, and the rewatch value was pretty low on my rating. But that's because I felt like the story was dragging because they had too many characters, so they had too many different stories happening, so they were distracting each other. And I'm like, these are the ones I care about, and the rest are like so annoying because I'm like, stop going back to these. I don't care about them. I want to focus on these stories. I want to see what's happening over here. And there's characters that I was not drawn to. And yeah, the arc of the story in the gameplay where they went into the game and it was all centered on zombies. I seriously cannot describe how much I hate zombies for so many different reasons. I just hate them. So, and like, everybody is obsessed with them. Like, every single story you can think of is finding a way to bring the flippin' zombies into it. I hate zombies. So, like, the game part of it was the most interesting part to me because, like, day-to-day life is very boring. I need the action stuff, so the game was the action. But then even the game was irritating me because of the whole zombie village. But yeah. I absolutely adored Gao Zhuan. I adored that guy. And Baoan, I loved him by the end of the drama too. And there were several places in the drama where it was Baoan that spoke up, like at the one point where they're all being tested on the reality of their answers. And I'm like, da, da, da. And in the end, Baoan said practically everything that I was saying. Thank you, Baoan, for saying all of that out loud. Because, yeah, so often in the dramas, I'm like, this and this and this, come on, you idiots. And nobody ever says it, or nobody ever acknowledges it, or nobody ever whatever. And Baoan did, and I'm like, thank you, Baoan. Thank you. So there you go. That was my thoughts on that one. If you haven't seen it, go watch it for fun. Tell me what you think if you have seen it. Whatever. What did you think of it? Who is your favorite character and why? Yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.